The New York Giants just got a double dose of good news. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. This is Big Apple Sports. Tune in every day for the latest Giants news, insights, analysis. If you're a fan of Giants football, this is the channel for you. So don't miss out. Take just a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Got a lot more Giants content coming. All right, so we had the game Sunday. I've kind of railed on the Giants a little bit these last 2 days, but I'm sick of being negative. Obviously, a lot of bad things to take from that game, but I do want to highlight there have been a couple positive developments for the Giants, and I think just for the sanity of Giants fans, sometimes we need to remain a little positive, a little hopeful, and talk about some of the good things and hope that some of the bad things kind of work themselves out as the season goes on. So, first bit of good news is Paulson Adebo. He had a really good day, and I think obviously he was really good for the Saints. The hope was he was going to be a good player, but he had broken his femur and hadn't played football in almost 11 months. And while we all had high hopes for him, it's just tough to know how somebody the femur, it's the biggest bone in your body. I'm no doctor, but generally, you probably don't want to break your femur, and tough to know how he's going to come back from that, but he played great. I was super impressed with him. If we pull up the stats, Terry McLaurin only had 2 catches for 27 yards. Honestly, the only receiver who really did anything for the Commanders was Deebo Samuel, and I don't think Adebo really even spent much time covering him. But I think the biggest thing that I loved from Adebo was what he said after the game. So, just kind of talking about how things went. He was moved all over the field, and there's been certain corners over the years who, they only play on one side of the field. They only cover this certain person. There's all sorts of, random things and quirks with different players. But what I love about Adebo is he doesn't care where the Giants put him. He's going to have a good attitude about it. And so when asked about, getting put all over the field and how he felt about that, he said, I was just eager and excited to come out and play. I love playing football. And then to play with all the guys we have and the energy, it was amazing and fun. Going on to talk about moving all over the field, he said, I think you definitely want to do whatever is best for the team. If that's taking out their number one guy in a week and taking on that challenge, then absolutely. Sometimes different receivers have different strengths. Sometimes it's a matchup thing. Sometimes it's a scheme thing. I don't want to take, it doesn't matter to him who he covers. He doesn't want his ego involved in it. You just trust the coaches and have a good mindset and play to win the game. And so, I love that from him. Not only did he go out and ball and prove that he was worth the big contract that the Giants gave him, but he's got a good attitude too. In this day and age, so many NFL players are pretty arrogant, and they're NFL players, I get it, but they have a specific thing that they want to do. They don't like to be put in positions they're not comfortable with. But Adebo, true football guy, and just a good team player, going out and saying, put me anywhere, coach. I'm going to ball. I'm going to play my best. And he absolutely did that. And, helped contribute to a pretty respectable game from the defense. And then another bit of good news comes from Micah McFadden. And obviously, the whole Micah McFadden situation is bad news, but considering the scene we saw Sunday where he's got an air cast on, and I think everybody in the world was just like, okay, he's done for the season. And I think he's a free agent after this year, so it's like that might have been his last snap as a Giant. But it sounds like X-rays came back negative, but Mike Garofalo says further testing showed McFadden will be out a while, so I don't think they've officially said what exactly happened, but they're saying the hope is it won't be for the whole season. And I think that's a big deal. Micah McFadden, really good linebacker, played, I think he had 100 tackles last year. And, is a big part of stopping the run, is a big part of special teams. Like, I think if there's one weakness on the Giants defense right now, it's definitely going to be stopping the run. So, I mean, if you can get back one of your better tacklers and your better linebackers, that's obviously a win. So, I would expect him to still go on IR, which means he would at least miss the next 4 games, but hopefully it's not much more than that, and we can get him at least playing half the season. And I thought that was pretty positive. I think everybody watching that game expected him to miss the entire year. So, Giants fans, let me know what you think. Give me some more positive news. We could talk for hours about all the things that made us upset from this past week, but hit me up in the comments. Tell me who you were impressed by. Abdul Carter had a good debut. Brian Burns looked good. Let's be positive. It's 1 week. It wasn't good, but they also played a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. So, I think the Cowboys are going to be a much easier game, probably an equal-ish test on offense, but the defense in Dallas isn't nearly as good. Lord knows the pass rush isn't going to be as good without Micah Parsons. I expect them to be pretty stingy against the run, especially since the Giants weren't great against the run. But with Kenny Clark coming in, they should be a solid run defense team, but there shouldn't be much of a pass rush in that game. So hopefully the O-line holds up against Dallas and we can get a better understanding of this offense and some more positive things to build on. And then, I liked I think I saw Russell Wilson tweeted today just the 2 words, mentally tough. And that's one thing you got to give him credit for. He's had some really high highs with the Seahawks, but Broncos fans hated him. They traded the farm for him, gave him a huge contract, and he was awful. I don't think Steelers fans loved him. He's gotten raked over the coals for his super creepy Subway ad and for seeming like a robot at times. He's been through it in the media. He's been hated on before, and he's just reminding you, I'm mentally tough. I'm going to be ready for week 2. I'm going to be playing hard, and he's just a football guy. He's going to go out there and ball, and hopefully we see a better product this week. But let me know what you guys think, Giants fans, and then don't forget, like and subscribe on the way out. We'll catch you with some more Giants content next time.